Let's be honest for a second. It's already March, and if you look back at the beginning of this year, you probably remember the excitement you felt on January 1st. You had plans, real plans. You told yourself that this year was going to be different. This was the year you would finally become more disciplined, healthier, more focused, more successful. Maybe you wrote down goals. Maybe you bought books or courses. Maybe you promised yourself that this time you would wake up earlier, work harder, and stop wasting time. But somewhere along the way, things slowed down. For a week or two, you were doing well. You were motivated. You were consistent. You were proud of yourself. And then life happened. Work got busy. You got tired. One day you skipped the gym. One night you stayed up too late. One morning you hit the snooze button. And suddenly the routine disappeared. You told yourself you would restart on Monday, but Monday came and nothing changed. Then another Monday came, and another. Or maybe you never even started. Maybe the year began and you were already exhausted from everything going on in your life, so you stayed in survival mode. Work, eat, scroll, watch something, sleep, repeat. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into 2 months, and now you're sitting here wondering where the time went. Maybe you feel a little frustrated, maybe disappointed. Maybe you feel like you're already behind. But here's something important you need to understand. You are not the only one. Research shows that most people abandon their New Year's resolutions by February, almost 80% of them. That means the majority of people who started the year feeling motivated have already stopped trying. So if you feel like you're behind, you're actually standing exactly where most people are standing. But here's the difference between people who stay stuck and people who completely turn their year around. The people who succeed don't wait for January again. They restart right now. Because the truth is this: you still have 10 months left in this year. 10 months. That's a long time. 10 months from today will be January of next year. Imagine what could happen between now and then if you became consistent. You could build a completely different life. You could be stronger, healthier, more confident, more disciplined, more focused. But the opposite is also true. If you do nothing, next January will arrive and you'll be having the exact same conversation with yourself. So today is about a reset, not a perfect start, a reset. Before we talk about how to fix things, we need to understand what actually went wrong. Because most people think they failed because they are lazy, but that's rarely the real reason. Usually there are 3 main problems. The first problem is vague goals. Many people start the year saying things like, I want to get in shape, I want to make more money, I want to be more productive. Those sound nice, but they are not real goals. They are ideas. Your brain needs clarity. If you say get in shape, your mind doesn't know what that means. Does it mean losing 10 pounds, running a mile, working out 3 times a week? Without a clear target, your brain has nothing to aim for. And when there's no clear target, progress becomes impossible to measure. The second problem is trying to change everything at once. This happens to almost everyone. January arrives and suddenly people try to transform their entire life overnight. Wake up at 5, go to the gym, start reading every day, launch a business, eat perfectly, meditate, journal, learn new skills. For a few days it works, you feel powerful, but after a week your mental energy runs out because willpower is limited. Psychologists call this ego depletion. Every new habit requires mental effort. If you try to build 10 habits at the same time, your brain becomes overwhelmed. Eventually, everything collapses. The third problem is relying on motivation. Motivation feels powerful in the beginning, but motivation is temporary. It disappears when you're tired, when it's cold outside, when you had a long day, when something more comfortable is available. Successful people don't rely on motivation. They build systems. A system works even when you don't feel like working. A system removes the need for constant willpower, and that's what you need to build now. So let's talk about the reset. Step 1 is simple. Choose one area of your life, not 5, 1. Ask yourself this question: which area of my life would improve everything else if I focused on it? Maybe it's your health, maybe your career, maybe your finances, maybe your mental well-being. Choose one. When you focus on one area, progress becomes easier. Improvement in one area creates momentum for everything else. Step 2 is creating a 90-day goal, not a 10-month goal, 90 days. Because your brain understands short time frames better. 90 days from now is close enough to feel real. Your goal should be clear and measurable. Instead of saying get healthier, say work out 4 days a week for 3 months. Instead of save money, say save $3,000 by the end of May. Specific goals create direction. Step 3 is reverse engineering. Take your 90-day goal and break it down into daily action. If your goal is saving $3,000 in 90 days, that means about $33 per day. Now you know what needs to happen daily. Maybe you cut certain expenses. Maybe you earn extra income. But now the goal becomes practical. Step 4 is creating one non-negotiable habit. One habit you do every day. It must be small enough that you cannot fail. If your focus is health, maybe it's 20 minutes of movement every day. If your focus is learning, maybe it's 30 minutes of study or skill practice. The key is consistency. Small actions repeated daily create massive change over time. Step 6 is the weekly review. Once a week, pause and look back. Ask yourself simple questions. Did I stay consistent? What worked well? What slowed me down? What should I adjust next week? This reflection helps you improve your system. Here's something many people don't realize about change. Real progress is quiet. It's not dramatic. It's not exciting every day. It's repetition, doing the same small action again and again. At first, results are invisible, but eventually something interesting happens. Those small actions begin to compound, and one day you look back and realize how far you've come. You become stronger, more disciplined, more confident, all because you kept showing up. Yes, the first 2 months of the year may not have gone the way you wanted, but that does not define the rest of the year. The past 2 months are gone, but the next 10 months are still in front of you, and starting today, you can decide that this is where the change begins. Not next Monday, not next month, today. Because the moment you start again, everything begins to shift.